Yeah, man, people, welcome back again to the channel. And I don't know, it's Nicardo Media House here out here again. We're going to preview the UEFA Champions League, man. But before we get into the video, people, look, man, today's Monday. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today, Monday is, I don't know, man, about other people, but for me, Monday sometimes it's one of the hardest days of the week to get up, especially you have that long drain weekend where you're doing things and you're having fun and stuff like that. But I hope everyone, is having a good day. Hope everyone is okay at work. Big up everyone that's, grind and hustle 7 days a week. Big up to everyone that do the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 thing. Big up the people that do the graveyard shift. Big up to everybody, man. But I'm here to preview the UEFA Champions League game, man. The big game. Tuesday early kickoff. Union Berlin home to Braga. That game played in Hertha Berlin Stadium in the Stadio Olympic in Germany, and Salzburg will host Real Sociedad team, the team from the Basque area in Spain. Wednesday early kickoff, Atletico Madrid face the Dutch team Feyenoord, and Royal Antwerp will face the team from the Donbass area, Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine. That game played in Belgium. But I'm going to jump right into the video. We're going to just run through this video as quick as possible. But we start off with Group A. Manchester United coming up against Galatasaray, the Turkish team. Galatasaray won their game 2-1 on the weekend. United lost their game 1-0 at home versus Crystal Palace. This is a very wounded United team. This is the best time to be facing a United team. They just not looking themselves. The manager is confused. The players is playing out of position. No tactics, no chemistry going forward. What happening to Marcus Rashford, but Galatasaray, will fancy their chance at Old Trafford, seeing what United be going through. This is a miserable September for United. I think United lost 4 games already in September. So it's just shambles, man, for United. It's just disaster all over the pitch. And off the pitch, administration, coaches, players, everyone, man. But the other team in the group, Copenhagen will host the German team Bayern Munich, in Denmark. But I think this should be a very straight up game, as Copenhagen get drew with Galatasaray in Turkey. Drew, I think that game was drew 2-2. A wonderful goal in match day one with Sasha Boy. But look, easy win for Bayern Munich in Denmark tomorrow. Moving on, Group B, Lens will host the Gunners. The team that's flying on the road as they won, all the away games in the Premier League. They beat Bournemouth 4-0 on the weekend. In the Carabao Cup last midweek, they beat Brentford 1-0. So Arsenal is a team that haven't conceded any goals in our competition on the road so far. So, going to France to face a very struggling team, Lens, who is at 15 position, 4 lost already in the French Liga and 2 win. So they're not playing as though they should be playing like how they played last season. I understand they're going through some injury crisis, as Aidara, the left back, he's out. David Costa, the creative midfielder, the Portuguese, is out. They have some players. I think they have like 5 players out, but those are the 2 key players that are out for them. But the recent they played Strasbourg, they won 2-1. There's a little momentum there. They beat Strasbourg, but Arsenal is still unbeaten, in the league. So no one having take a full points of Arsenal so far. So Arsenal will be looking to get on the board 2 from 2 in the UEFA Champions League, and in match day one they beat PSV. They beat PSV 4-0 at home. So they look to do so against a very wounded team, Lens. But moving on, Sevilla versus PSV. Sevilla will travel to Netherlands to face a very good PSV team. But Sevilla, drew with Lens, and they got 4-0 at the Emirates. They lost to Barcelona on the weekend, Sevilla. So, they're on a poor start. They had 14th position in the La Liga and 7 points. They lost 4 games already. So, it won't be easy. They have some injury concern. Player like El Nasiri, the striker, and the creative midfielder Oliver Torres is out. I think that's 2 of 5 players that out for Sevilla. So it's going to be a really good game. But I expect PSV should do business as this Sevilla team is struggling. They just signed Sergio Ramos on the free contract. So free transfer. So Group C, Real Madrid will come up against a very tough team. Napoli, Real Madrid, they won their game on the weekend, beating Girona. You saw what happened in match day one at home at the Santiago Bernabeu against Union Berlin. That was a fight to get a 3 points. Jude Bellingham, the man who's on farm, got that goal in deep in extra time, and broke the heart of the Union Berlin players. But this game won't be easy in Naples as Napoli is finding farm as they beat Lecce 4-0 in the Italian Serie A over the weekend. They're 4 points after leaders AC Milan, who is tied up on points with Inter Milan 18-18. So Napoli is on 14 points. So, coming up against Real Madrid, the last time these two teams met, Real Madrid won this game 2017, the quarterfinal of the Champions League, 6-2 on aggregate. So, there is a little always a battle between these two teams. But Napoli, they beat Braga in their match day one, 3-1 on the road. So they have some confidence going into this game. But moving on, Union Berlin versus Braga. As I said earlier, this game will play in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. But I don't know why they're not playing the original home. I have to check that out. But Braga, they got surprised and they got 3-1 at home to Napoli, but they're looking to bounce back against a very wounded Berlin team that's started the Bundesliga a little bit crampy. But this game should be a good a good game. It would be a cracking atmosphere as Union Berlin have some of the best fans in the German Bundesliga. But we're going to move on to Group D. Salzburg will host the team from Spain, Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad won that big derby against Atletico Bilbao 3-0 at home. They call it the Basque Derby. And, that was a not very comfortable game for Real Sociedad. They had to take off a few players, rest them for this game as, they're going to play against a very good Salzburg. This Salzburg team beat Benfica in Portugal 2-0. In that game, they even missed a penalty, so Salzburg is looking to come up against a good Sociedad team, but I expect Salzburg should do business at home. I think when they played in the Champions League at home, they have that fans. It playing in Austria, it's cold, So I think they should do a good business and beat this Real Sociedad team, but other team in this zone, Inter Milan versus Benfica. Benfica, they're looking to bounce back after that devastating defeat at home in match day one versus Salzburg. Inter Milan picked up a valuable point in Spain in match day one in this competition as they crawled their way back from 1-0 down. I think Sociedad got so many chances in that game, could have beat Inter Milan, and they just kept missing it. But they found their goal and they equalized the game and walk away from Spain with 1 point. So Inter Milan looking to get fully 3 points from this game against Benfica in the San Siro as Inter Milan they're not conceding too many goals, and they only lost one game already in the Italian Serie A, but it's going to be a good game in San Siro. Moving on to the Wednesday games, Group E, Atletico Madrid versus Feyenoord. Atletico Madrid after giving up that late goal in the Stadio Olimpico, for against Lazio, and Lazio came back and draw that game 1-1. Diego Simeone mentioned thinking that they should have fully 3 points on the board from match day one, but Sarriman took that point away from them and walk away and close up match day one in that 1-1 draw. But coming up against Feyenoord team, they like to score goals as they scored 26 goals. The league leaders so far in the Eredivisie league in Netherlands, they scored 26 goals already. No one has scored more than them in the league so far in the Dutch league. But Atletico Madrid won their game on the weekend against Cadiz 3-1. So they're on a little bit of farm. Feyenoord, in match day one, they got that 3 points versus the Scottish champion Celtic when they played at home in match day one. So they're on 3 points. Both teams looking to get another 3 points to settle themselves in this group. But it won't be easy for Feyenoord team as Diego Simeone meant they are one of the meanest defense, in the La Liga this season. But next two teams in the zone, Lazio will travel to Scotland to face a very good Celtic team. Whenever they play at home at Celtic Park in the UEFA Champions League, it is a cracker atmosphere. It's cracking. It's one of the best nights you can play it in the UEFA Champions League playing at Celtic Park. But the last time these two teams met, it was back in 2019 when Lazio won both group stage game in the Europa League, 2-1, 2-1 home and away. But I expect Lazio should do business, but they're looking to bounce back after that 2-0 defeat at home versus AC Milan. But moving on to Group F, Group F is the group of death where Dortmund, AC Milan, PSG, Newcastle. But start things off, Dortmund, will host the Rossonerians in the Signal Iduna Park. But Dortmund, they put up a weak fight, a couple of weeks ago in match day one versus Paris Saint-Germain in France. They got 2-0 and they just look woeful as the midfield was so wide open. PSG was just running through their middle, just at knife running through butter. But Hakimi scored a very good free kick in that game, and PSG just passed the hell out of Dortmund as Dortmund. I think Dortmund don't even pass the ball 200 times in that game. PSG had over 600 pass, but let's see what they can do. These two teams never met before. AC Milan threw away that game in match day one as I think they should have beaten Newcastle in match day one at home in the San Siro, but they drew 0-0. So AC Milan is on a little bit of farm coming to this game. They beat Lazio and all of that. 2-0. Captain America Pulisic is on farm. So let's see. They have Rafael Leao, but the big game, one of the biggest game of match day two in the UEFA Champions League, Newcastle will host PSG. The Magpies, unbeaten in their last 5 games. They won back to back in the Premier League so far for the first time in this Premier League. So beating Sheffield 8-0, 10 days ago, and beating Burnley a couple of days ago on the weekend 2-0. So they scored 10 goals in 2 games. They beat City I think a week and a half ago in the Carabao Cup at home 1-0 to knock them out of that competition. So PSG team, they're not looking themselves as PSG. PSG is at 5th position. They have 12 points. They drew 0-0 against Clermont on the weekend. They're lucky. The Reggae Boy International, Shamar Nichols, didn't score that 90-minute goal. But, injuries, both teams have some injury concern coming into this game. But this game, I can't wait for this game. This game going to be a really good game. But moving on to Group G, Red Star Belgrade will host Young Boys, a team from Switzerland. Whenever a team go to Red Star Belgrade in Serbia, it's always that spicy atmosphere. It's always that noisy. The fire rocket is going off. But when Salzburg, they had a pretty decent first half against Manchester City at the Etihad in match day one. They scored the first goal in that game, but they lost. They eventually go on to lose that game. But Young Boys will look to bounce back. They lost their first game 3-1 to Leipzig. But Salzburg is 20 game unbeaten at home, and they look to go 21. But the big game in this group, RB Leipzig will host Manchester City. As look, Manchester City lost their 2 games so far. They lost in the Carabao Cup to Newcastle. They lost at the Molineux to Wolves 2-1. So the last time Manchester City lost 3 games in a row, it was all the way back in 2018. That's the time when Liverpool beat them in both legs of the UEFA Champions League. I think it was the semi-final. And in between those 2 games, Manchester United beat them in the Etihad 3-2. I think Paul Pogba scored that winning goal header. I'm not sure, but I think that's the time when Liverpool went on to the final to face Real Madrid. But the last time these two teams met, it was last campaign. I think it was quarterfinal. Manchester City won this tie 8-1 and aggregate. So City will look to bounce back. City, they have injury concerns. Stones is still out, Bernardo is still out. KDB. Haaland is not getting enough service. Jack Grealish not looking at himself as you know, he was playing last season and stuff like that. You know, but let's see what the citizens going to do at RB Leipzig Stadium. You know, moving on, to Group H, you know, Royal Antwerp, you know, will host Shakhtar, the team from the Donbass area in Ukraine. This game will play in Belgium, you know, but both teams lost their opening game as Shakhtar lost their home game against FC Porto 3-1. You know, they played that home game in Hamburg in Germany. Don't know why, you know, probably because of the war. You know, the last Champions League campaign, they played a game in Poland in Warsaw. So probably they just train a different scene and stuff. But Royal Antwerp got 5-0, you know, in match day one against Barcelona. You know, Barcelona is not playing in that original Camp Nou as they're playing in the Olympic Stadium in Spain. You know, but this should be a good game. Royal Antwerp and Shakhtar. Both teams should fancy to win this game. But you know, the marquee game of Group H will be Barcelona traveling to FC Porto in Portugal. You know, both teams won their game on match day one. You know, Porto is unbeaten in their last 5 games at home. You know, Barca is 12 games unbeaten. So, you know, Barca is carrying a little farm. You know, FC Porto will carry a little farm in this game. Barca won their game on the weekend, 1-0 against Sevilla. You know, the last time these two teams met, it was back in 2011 when in the UEFA Super Cup when Barcelona won that game 2-0. I think Lionel Messi and Fabregas scored in that game. You know, I think I watched that game. You know, but look, we have come to the end of the Champions League preview, man. If you made it this far, look, subscribe, and if you're new, smash a like button, comment, tell me what you guys think. You know, really appreciate everyone supporting the videos, and it really mean a lot. You know, thanks for supporting. You know, this is Nicardo Media House. The best way to keep this channel moving and growing is to hit that subscription bell and smash a like button. You know, bless up to everyone. Peace out. Salute.
In the city lights, I'm feeling so alive. Drifting around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing road?